Hello everyone, welcome back to Fire Emblem Thracia 776 Negative Growth Edition. I hope you're ready for the third Fog of War map in a row. I'm once again joined by Fog of War connoisseur, Raisins. How you doing?
That's right, I don't even know why. I don't even know why they put 3 in a row. I don't know why I like Fog of War. I don't even know what's in the map, to be honest with you. It's the point, but like, dude.
No one knows, you can't see it. It's invisible. That's the point.
This is a good map. Anyway, guys, this is the map.
This is a great map for unit analysis and banter, because once you know how this map is played in a non-blind playthrough, it's honestly pretty easy and not a lot of combat. In fact, almost zero combat. And in addition, it all comes down to this: will I hit a warp staff? That's really it. That's all there is to it. Let me light up a torch with my boy Salem over here. Grab it from Leif so we can see what the heck is going on. This should hit. Probably. We'll talk about Salem right after this, don't worry. There you go. Light up the place. And now,
there you go.
I need Lara to be in that throne room over there. And if we miss, well, great. Reset. If we don't miss, cool. We can talk about the map.
Alright, sounds good to me.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I missed. Okay, that's great. Okay. Now that I've missed, you know, that's fine. Let me just demonstrate what happens if you don't manage to do this on turn 1. Let me just end turn and show you what happens.
Let's see it. We got, by the way, we should explain, this is like the Dandelion's hideout, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, we're invading the thief's house. So he takes a fortified staff from us. And these other thieves are going to make it to their own treasures as well. And Tina is like, hey, that's a nice weapon you got there. Let me just use my thief staff to try and steal it.
What she take?
Steals your sting thing. She took my iron axe.
Not an iron axe.
Yeah.
It's kind of a good weapon.
And then he sees enemy dancers. You know what? I'm glad we missed.
Yeah, we got to see the enemy dancers.
I'm glad we got to show this off. And then this dancer's like, oh, that was really cool. Want to do that again? So they dance, because enemies can dance in this game.
Can you get an enemy dancer and an enemy dancer to meet? Or no?
I have no idea. Also, looks like Tina decided not to move this time. That's not very nice. Okay. But yeah, if you miss here, you lose a fortified staff, probably some other treasure as well if you miss again. And generally a lot of bad things happen. So you want to stop that on turn 1. You can do that by hitting that warp. So let me reset and make sure to hit that warp. You don't want
burning our ends. The Thracia way.
Probably. I think you can burn our ends this way actually. So by doing just a little bit of that, we should be able to solve that problem. I know it's here. I don't have the torch. Let me just see if the warp hits. Oh, come on, Safi. Don't be like this. Oh, that's... Another one.
Another reset. Oh, there we go.
Hardest chapter so far. Most resets so far. Easily.
People are going to look and be like, why is this episode an hour and a half long?
Gee, I wonder why. Okay, Safi. Just one time, please. Hit the warp. I know you can do this. Come on. Just please hit the warp.
I said that joking. It's actually going to get there.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you. Very cool.
Alright, so about Lara. Now, why do we bring Lara in there?
Okay. Why? Why would we do that? Well, there's 2 characters here, 2 recruitable characters. One is Parn and one is Tina. And by recruiting Parn, you stop pretty much everything I just showed on the map from happening. And also, you can talk to Parn with Leif, Lara, or... I'm pretty sure there was a third somewhere. Salem, that's right. Salem can also do it. But Lara's the only one who gets a special thing out of it, which we'll show off now.
Ooh, misclick on the door, rip.
Yeah, can definitely happen. I don't know if I've ever done it, but I know I'm always very careful about it when I'm Iron Manning. Suddenly Lara's like, yo, I've decided I want to be a dancer again.
I got some moves.
Suddenly she got the moves. She lost her moves, but she found them in his old thievery mansion.
Let's see the gains. That's Primer gains in the series, am I right, fellas?
I hope you like negative growth, but how about negative promotion gains? Yeah, she just lost like, I mean, she didn't lose much, but she lost some things. So now she's a dancer, and that means she can dance as well as steal. She's now a stealing dancer, I guess what we call here. It's like a brand new character, honestly. I do like character analysis while standing on the status screen for hours, but I think there's not much going on in the rest of this map, so we'll probably spend the rest of this episode talking about the characters that we've recruited, or that we've changed, or that we've done, or about the map in general, because there's not much else to do. I'm gonna have Parn steal this thief staff, so she stops messing around with it. Thank you, Parn, because he's a thief. He's a thief fighter. And then we're gonna see if I can light up the way here with not sleep, torch. Come here. Thank you.
So how does it stop like everything else that's going on here? Because like, is there just an AI manip? Like, do the thieves just say, "All right, we're going home now"? Or
yeah,
what's the deal?
I think they see that Parn bails, and that makes everyone like passive. Like normally, I forgot to show it off, but Parn has like 5 leadership stars as well. So trying to kill this thief alone when he's alive is super painful and annoying. But him changing just changes everyone's eye. I mean, I could tell you exactly what it does, but because the torch hit, you can see the difference just now. Let me just move around, I guess, and show it off. Here we go.
They're here.
Yeah, so now they just bail in turn 1.
Okay.
Goodbye. And the most important thing is the thieves actually don't take the treasure anymore. They just go for escape tiles instead. They don't take the treasure anymore. So you get all the treasure for yourselves, basically. It's a big deal.
And this is a big deal. That's why you wanted to keep the warp staff.
Yeah.
Or keep a warp staff use here. Now, you have merged the warp staff last chapter. Did you have to S-string Safi?
Yeah.
At the start of this one?
She was tired.
Okay.
And now I can use her for a couple more chapters. I also think I'm going to need her next chapter, but I haven't planned that one out yet. So yeah, the rest of this chapter is going to be a couple side objectives, mostly getting this guy recruited and getting treasure, and walking around into the throne room, and recruiting Tina.
There's actually another recruitable guy up there? Wait, what?
Yeah, Trude up here. But if you don't see him, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
I've never recruited him. I have no idea.
Let's see if we can put him to sleep here.
Ooh, you gotta be able to hit, right?
Sleep, boy. Say good night.
Okay, well, when we get to his unit analysis, it's all gonna be you.
It's all gonna be serious, yeah. He's gonna be a bellow. We could save him for next time, because we already have like a million characters to talk about anyway.
Yeah.
So who do you want to talk about first, then?
Goodness, I guess let's talk about Parn and his 5 leadership stars.
All right. I'll show him off. Well, he doesn't have those anymore, thank you. But he does have 5 vigor stars, though. That's pretty cool.
That's true. And like, what's that weapon he's holding?
That would be the Kingmaker. That's a pretty good weapon. That's probably the best sword in the game.
Yeah, best sword in the game, but like a lot. I mean, actually, like forget about Parn for a moment, because I know like if Parn joins the Kingmaker, it's pretty easy to associate that sword with Parn. But like, I feel like it's pretty common to just give that to Leif and call it a day, right? Be like, all right, here you go. Like, you have the Kingmaker now. He's just giving charm out to everybody, but. Yeah, no, guys, Kingmaker pretty good. What are the actual like combat stats of the weapon too? Because I hear even that is like not too shabby.
What, the Kingmaker? Yeah, it's a brave sword, and it's C rank only, so like everyone can use it. It's super strong, and Parn can use it, Leif can use it, any other sword user you have. Like, I don't know, Fred can use it. It's pretty strong.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, like,
I don't
know what to say about it except, then I'll get wrecked.
Hello. How you doing, that fog? What about Parn though? I think he's pretty strong. I don't think it's possible to not like Parn when you first get him, when you first play the game.
I mean, yeah, like, what does he have beyond, like, the leadership stars, I guess? Does he have, some additional kind of utility? I recruited Parn once, and I think it was on, like, an Iron Man, which swiftly lost a couple chapters later.
Wow.
Yeah, it was that one. I see some of the thief down there. Are you getting the extra, Isn't there like a thief down here who spawns, or a dancer who spawns with something?
Yeah, that's very late in the chapter though. I'm gonna do everything else first. Okay. While I'm chilling around here. Yeah, no,
For sure, but yeah, talk about Parn, because I recruited him once and I was like, oh, this unit's kind of good, and then Leif died or something, so.
He has good growths, which is a problem, but he does have like insane utility. He can steal, he can obviously pick locks. There's not much lockpicking to be done actually in the game anymore. But he has a pretty good combat, especially with the Kingmaker, but even without it, he's pretty fine, because he can use like plenty of other swords, thanks to having these swords. You can go with him, I guess. He is fast. He has 5% critical, which is very good. So if he has the strength to like really put the hurt on them, he'll probably kill an enemy. Like, he can probably kill an armor knight using the Kingmaker, for example. So
wait, is there anything wrong with this guy then? Because it looks like his bases were super good too, right? Like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of only having 24 HP. That's about it. Everything else is pretty fine. I'm gonna grab Trude.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab Trude here. He joins either if you capture and hold on to him, like with Lithus and 2x, or if you talk to him with Parn. Now, because he's asleep, I can't talk to him. He doesn't sleep talk, so I'm just gonna have to hold on to him for the rest of the chapter with Marty or Delson or something. That's why I deployed 2 units with high constitution. One of my first Iron Mans actually forgot to bring someone who could actually grab Marty and hold on to him, or grab Trude and hold on to him. So I ended up losing out on him. I think I had to kill him in the end after wasting a sleep staff on him, which is kind of unfortunate. But that's how you recruit him.
There we go, the second layer.
Exactly. You get the fortify staff over here. That one gets nicked by a thief if you're not careful. Good here. So that's pretty much Parn in a nutshell. Everything else he can do, I could talk about, but probably easy to show it. But like for one, he has more build than Leif does, so that's more useful for stealing heavily your weapons. For one, he can steal warp staffs, which is pretty cool and useful later on.
I mean, okay, Mekkah, like there's got to be a catch because you're talking about him like, he's an okay unit. Like I'm looking at this guy, and like, aside from the 24 HP, he looks like absolutely goated to the wall bonkers. Like, well, like what's the catch here? Is there one?
I can't really think of a big one. Like, obviously, you can't throw him into a bunch of enemies and expect him to live. Like, he does only have 24 HP, 5 defense, right? So even though he has soul, it's not reliable.
Soul advantage, and
it's only 8% soul, so you can't really rely on this guy to just not die somewhere randomly. That's like the one catch I can think of. I don't think I'm even gonna dance with Lara because like she'll just fatigue herself. Dancing also fatigues you. So I'm not gonna do that.
Even with like Vantage and a Brave Sword, I know like. Again, the Kingmaker is on him. It doesn't have to be on him. But even with something like Vantage Brave Sword, although I guess range attacks exist.
Well, I said you could kill Armor Knights with their Kingmaker, but that's like with 4 attacks and some criticals in there. The first 2 attacks will not critical, probably, and so he'll probably die if you try that stunts with him. Depending on what enemies you're up against, but like some enemies he will not counter, like I think like mages, for example. He won't counter those, so that would also make that maneuver a little bit more interesting than that. So there are definitely ways that Parn can die, and in general, you probably at this point, if you're playing vanilla, you're probably capable of having better, stronger units at combat than Parn. Even though it's for a character with you put no work into, is pretty good. But he can definitely like go wrong. Like long range magic can kind of kill him. I think his luck is also somewhat. It's good enough to not get crit, I guess. Although you only have 5 critical points, so you can still get crit by like I don't know a bolting or something. So things can still go wrong when using Parn. He's not invincible. He's no god. This is kind of good.
That makes sense. Okay.
And
I have to temper my expectations a bit clearly.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know. I just like Thief Fighter as a class is kind of cool.
It is really cool. The fact that he gets Vantage and like stealing for free is kind of bonkers. I really like him. What about Salem? How do you like him?
So, I mean, taking a look at his stats, I can't remember. This is like considered one of the better dark mages in the game, but I think mostly because of his staff utility more than anything, right? Like.
Yeah. I mean, he's the only person in the game who can use dark magic at all, so by virtue he's the best. But even beyond that, I'm assuming you would like I don't know, magic users or something. He's pretty good at that. He's pretty fun at that. But staff utility is the big thing. Yes. Base C staffs is like who else even has staff rank at this point, right? Asbel has D, just to give an idea. Safi had to get to A through quite some work.
If I said best dark mage in the game, I misspoke. I meant like series. Is what I've heard.
I see. Yeah, I thought it might be that too. I'm gonna keep you. I need to move most of these characters, but I do need to move Safi forward. Everyone else is kind of optional. Where's the chest key for me? I think Leif is one. Okay, I think.
With his staff rank, he can cast Sleep. He can cast Torch. Clearly, is there anything like else noteworthy he can cast? I know like Warp is kind of out of the question right now because that's A rank. But like, is there anything else you have him like planned for casting here, or is it just those 2 pretty much?
I think the key with the Salem is that he can cast some staves that both benefit you. For example, the Sleeping of Trude and then torching the map so you can see what's going on. Both of those are beneficial by themselves, but they also give him staff rank to eventually get to warp. I think that's the whole key to why Salem is so useful, because he can both help you and help himself at the same time, and then eventually get to A rank staves. And at this point, like when you're like, doesn't really matter exactly when you hit A staves if you're not planning like super tightly. What turn are we on? But at some point, it's nice if Salem hits A rank staves and starts being able to use warp, rescue, rewarp, etc. And at that point, like there's a point in the game where that's all you need to be useful. And at that point, you're just an automatic S3 unit by virtue of having all that. Find that thing. Oh, there it is. Hey,
He's like, no, it's not here, you idiot.
Yeah, Salem is usually I think the second person to hit A rank staves for me in the game.
Second person. Okay, so you do end up getting there. Let me take a look. I want to see Laputo Mage. I'm looking at
Yeah, he has. He can use wind as well. He's not forced to use Jormungandr. It's as I said before, it loses the ability to poison enemies when you are an enemy mage, but it loses that when you're a player mage. It's really heavy. It weighs 12, so the con doesn't count for mages. So he just has 0 AS with it for like until he gets +5 speed, which mine is never going to get. So he's generally better off using wind if he wants to actually double things, because wind only weighs I think 1 or 2, so he'll be able to double enemies with almost no speed. And he can do some combat here and there. His luck is really low, and I don't think he has any noteworthy supports that will like be around often enough, so you probably want to give him a scroll if you want to fight with him. I'm probably just going to save his fatigue. One thing that's nice about Salem is he has a bit more HP than most magic users. Like my Safi has a life ring and she has 18 HP. Salem comes with a base of 22, so he is much better off in that regard. It takes a bit longer to fatigue, and can he defend? Like with Safi's in enemy range, she's probably just going to be capture bait. Whereas if Salem is in enemy range, it's not necessarily a capture bait. There's actually some combat utility there to speak of that makes him more versatile in that way. But generally, I don't like to use him for that purpose because it still fatigues him. And he doesn't really need the XP, he just needs staff XP, generally speaking. Here.
For sure. And I do know he gains +1 staff rank on promo, so...
Yeah, he does. It's almost similar to Safi in that both of them like to hit B stabs and then promote to get A stabs. That's generally the routes to A stabs that they take. So another Master Seal will probably go to Salem at some point just to hit that little benchmark there. But
yeah, no, that makes sense.
It takes a bit of effort, and usually you want to expend something like a Torch Staff to make it happen. I'm not sure if I want to spam Torch here or not. I don't think I'll use Salem next chapter, so maybe it's just a good time to just spam Torch here and just hit the A stabs before. So I have 2 Warpers later on. I might just do that, honestly. I might just spam the Torch here, because I get Lenoan later in the Fog of War map. Maybe, if I play that map, I might skip that map, the 14X chapter. In which case, there will be no Fog of War map for like the rest of the game, basically, until 24X, which I also might not play. But now I can see the benefits of Torch Staff right away. So maybe I'll just spam the Torch here and get it over with. I might just do that.
Yeah, even on 14X, you don't think you need it?
Yeah, you don't need it necessarily either. It's just, it's nice to say like 1 use maybe, but that's about it. Leif comes here. Yeah, that's probably all there's like really to say about Salem as a unit. The rest is better off demonstrated, I think. I'll just spam the Torch Staff a little bit more. You can also miss it, so that would save some uses.
Save some uses and get more XP, right?
Definitely. With that said, let's grab Tina. Talk about her.
There we go. The Tina, they named a staff after an FE6, right? A different Tina, I know.
Yeah. I think that one is sometimes spelled Tiena, so that might be a different one. I don't know. But anyway, Tina, probably the most interesting unit in all of Fire Emblem, I think, or at least in Thracia. One of the most unique units in existence for sure. I don't know how to quite describe her. How would you describe Tina when you use her?
Similar to Parn, I've only unlocked the Gaiden once, and it was in an Iron Man. So,
right.
But I do know she has a reputation for being like very well liked, and a lot of people are just like, oh yeah, good, like gotta have Tina. And I tune into someone's Thracia stream, and they're in endgame, and Tina's like level 20 with a million things. And
yeah,
I'm like, this is pretty cool. Seems like a fun unit. So I'm curious then, like, what is it that makes her such a fan favorite? I saw 5 vigor stories, which is like pretty sick. But go on then. Listen.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out the best way to describe Tina in a new way, but I think the best way to describe Tina is like just fun RNG. Like she's the epitome of Kaga. I just want to make fun RNG kind of characters, because what Tina's got is she's got 1 skill when using staves, and you've seen at the beginning of the chapter how annoying it can be to have a character with 2 skills. So you can imagine how 1 skill roughly stacks up there. She often misses with staves. She has 2 personal staves, the Thief Staff and the Unlock Staff, both of which are really good. You saw her try to use the Thief Staff at the beginning of the chapter, so you know what that does. It steals my stuff. Or now that I have Tina, I can steal their stuff. This works on any enemy as long as her magic is higher than theirs. She can take any weapon you want, so this doesn't just apply to like the weapon of a boss. It can be a ballista. She can steal enemy ballistas and we can sell them in a shop for something. You can steal enemy status staffs and use them against those same enemies if you want to. You can steal enemy tomes. You can steal anything you want really with the Thief Staff. It's super versatile. And then the Unlock Staff, which is still in our inventory, it just unlocks a chest somewhere on the map, or a door if you want to. Anything that you can unlock with a lockpick, you can unlock with the Unlock Staff. Like, I don't know a better way to phrase that. I'm sorry. So
And these ones, like other staves, they have an unlimited range. You can just
yeah. Every staff in
whenever you want, you click on
Thracia,
it.
I think that besides maybe the torch staff, I guess every staff in Thracia that has range, like Physic, Fortify, Unlock, they all have infinite range. They can reach anything you want ever. So in that sense, Tina's low magic doesn't really hurt her in that regard. It does like make her heal less HP, I guess, and it makes it sometimes harder to target enemies that have higher magic, but we do have the Unsorceral Staff. Now, on that note, Tina has really good growths. Particularly, I think she has a 5% move growth, which is kind of scares me. Normally, if you play through Thracia, you'll find that Tina will level up move once or twice in her whole career, and she'll probably get like plenty of other stats too. That's the reason why I don't want to use Tina throughout this game unless I really have to for a certain plan, because I think there's a couple enemies that even with the help of the Ensorcel Staff or a Pure Water, I think I still need her to have 3 or more magic to do the job. And this is also the reason why I'm hoarding magic rings like crazy, because I think Tina unlocks such huge potential that it's worth really hoarding her stats, as it were, her magic. Make sure it doesn't go down, because I'm pretty sure she has a 40 or 50% magic growth. I really need to hold that back, because there's a couple things I really want to be able to do late in the game that I think I won't be able to do if she just procs magic once or twice. So I think I'm only going to save Tina for when I really need to. Now, she doesn't instantly level up from just using a staff once, so there will still be times where I'll deploy her, but I'm going to be very careful about it. I'm going to make sure beforehand that I absolutely want to use her in a situation if I have no other choice. Like, for example, I know that I want to obtain a sleep sword at some point, and that's going to be definitely something Tina can do. No one else can do that for me, so I'll use her for that for sure. And I can think of one other occasion later on where I definitely want to use Tina. So I'll keep that in mind for the whole playthrough as I'm using Tina. But if you're playing vanilla, please go nuts with this character. She is so much fun to use. She's so hilarious. The greatest thing ever with Tina is that her personal stats give a bunch of weapon XP, and if she hits, that's great. You just got whatever you wanted out of that use. If she misses, doesn't consume a use, still gets the weapon XP out of it. And as a result, you can use her many, many times if she misses. So I actually like her low skill early on. At some point, she'll probably level skill enough to where it's not an issue, but early on, it's actually really funny to have her low skill just spam thief stabs. If she misses, big deal, she'll get more XP out of it.
She just prints the XP, yeah.
Yeah, it's really fun, and I can't wait to demonstrate it, but it won't be in this chapter. I think, what did you get? You got the chest? Oh, there we go. The cost manual, I'm probably selling that.
Let's say give it to Dagdar. No,
I know, right? Give it to Marty. Dagdar.
Yeah,
I know, right?
Something tells me that wouldn't work as well. But
okay, so we've talked about like every recruit character here so far, I think. So you might be wondering why I'm still here, why I'm gonna end turn here. Like you said, there is a dancer reinforcement at the start of the map. If you don't kill any enemies, I think you can capture release, but you can't kill. If you don't kill any, then you can unlock some special reinforcements that have some special goodies for you here. And that's just going to be what I'm going to be waiting for the rest of the chapter. That's why Parn had to move over here after getting the chests that he did, because he can steal the warp staff, like I said before. Or at least he can aid in getting them.
Speaking of printing XP, do you still need to torch stuff with Salem or no?
Probably, yeah. It's a good reminder. Thank you.
All good, all good.
Alright. Light it up, Salem. It's Liddy.
I guess there's other ways too. Like I guess for or to control Tina in this playthrough as well. In addition to Ensorcel, I'm just playing. Wow, thank you.
Perfect level up. Perfect level up.
Yeah, perfect.
Makes it
level.
easier to carry around.
Easier to rescue.
Wait, can I pick up?
Easier to capture bait.
Can I pick him up with Tina now? Oh, almost. If he gets another one, I can pick him up with Tina. Big gains. What turn are we on? I think 25 is the turn we're looking for. Okay.
Yeah, no, we can just give Tina the Heim scroll too in case we really need to use her, right? So
the Heim will boost our magic growth, wouldn't it?
The other one rather. Maybe not Heim. Nair?
They're probably, yeah, that might work. Is that a
one
magic
with an
production
eye in
one?
it.
I don't remember.
Yeah, whatever the one with like the black battle axe.
I'm sure
You
it
know the
exists. I'm sure it exists.
Yeah, you know, actually that might be minus luck. Let me take a look. There's one out
you have
there.
a couple more turns to look it up.
There you go. Oh, Nova. Nova scroll says Serenus Forest.
Oh yeah, that one's pretty late. I don't think I can really make use of that. By the time I get that
forget
one,
about
it's
it then.
kind of already time to make use of Tina herself. But it does exist, I'm sure. Let me
There you go.
use the torch again while I'm here. Torch. I might save
Don't wanna miss
one
one.
just in case I really want one. It's not that hard to get Salem to A rank stabs overall. Like, just with these 4 torches, he already got himself to 11, which is pretty good. Still some way to go, but it's a couple more chapters before it starts being, like, required-ish. What turn are we on? Turn 22. Easy enough.
Did he gain weapon XP as an enemy when he was casting sleep stuff on you, or no?
I think enemies do gain weapon XP normally, but you can't really benefit from it, right? Because the sleep staff will also consume a use, so it comes down to the same thing.
I was just curious. I guess it's maybe like payoff for getting slept, right?
Yeah.
It's a consolation prize. Okay, there.
It's kind of a weird scroll that it does, but I'm pretty sure it does come into place. Yeah, there we go. There she is. That's a dancer. Unfortunately, just outside of my vision range.
She found the square. Yeah. You move Salem, you got it.
One square. Come here. Let me see you. Okay, this one has a master seal. You just have to steal that. Unfortunately, we could barely not reach unless we get a movement start here. There you go. It's okay. She wouldn't have reached the stairs anyway, but let me just...
How are you so good at Thracia, man?
Yeah, I know, right? Get that master seal from you. Hold up. You have a lot of stuff on you. Let me just get rid of some of that. Thief, fortify, master seal. There you go. Get this.
We've got a few goodies here.
Free slim sword. Pretty good. I don't think she'll walk back. I think she just stands in place if you block her way to the other stairway. She's going to the upper stairway. I'll take her slim sword as well. That's just free cash. Thank you. That's the turn 25 reinforcement, which means it's almost time right now for the turn 30 reinforcement. So let me gently move back in place to where I want to be. Just here.
Just let them go away.
Yeah, yes. I'm just going to let her go. Why would I attack her? Why would I get the XP, right? Just let her go. If you love somebody, let them go.
That's true. Do we love the dancer?
I do love dancer. I also really like Laura as a dancer, by the way. This is a great game for more action economy. And it's pretty hard for a dancer to fall behind when you're constantly spamming warp and rewarp and stuff like that. So Laura is a very, very useful dancer. But again, I'll probably be able to demonstrate that over the course of the next couple chapters.
I was about to say, we haven't really said anything in depth about that, but you know, dancer good, I hear, right? So
yeah, dancer good.
She does fatigue, as you mentioned before. She does fatigue every time, so you do got to watch out for that. But
yeah,
nice, there it is.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was wrong. He can't still warp stabs. He needs a body ring to do that, which I'll get later. So I'm just gonna nap this slim sword and hope she stays in place and doesn't escape. Which I don't think she will. Oh, there we go. Never mind. We're good at
even
Thracia.
better.
We're good at Thracia. Never mind. We're good. Still can't do that. So just capture her. Come here. And just take her stuff. That's a free warp that I can just use for my own devices. Obviously, if you're playing anywhere remotely near efficiently, then you don't need that. And you also don't want to stick here for 30 turns just to get that warp staff. But I like to get it every time because it really makes it easier to hammer in other things besides warp and thief.
Yeah, it's free hammering on a warp, right? So
it's free real estate. It's free real estate. All this is free. I take it every time, but you can think of it as something that is honestly probably not meant for a player like me who have enough to do, who have enough resources without it. But I'm greedy. I like to get it anyway. Why would you not get all the treasure in the chapter? That's just free treasure.
Exactly.
But I gotta tell you, the first time I played this map, blind, and I got assaulted by, first of all, enemies I couldn't even hit with my units because they were just too dodgy with Parn's leadership stars. And I got hit by the thief staff with my items just being gone. And I ended up coming here to Athena with like 50 fatigue on her because she used all her staffs up. I was like, jeez. That was a hard map. But now, for me, it's more of a story map / free treasure map. But I still enjoy it nonetheless, even though it's just a walking and recruiting simulator.
Well, what was all the stuff we got? We got a Master Seal and a Cost Manual, an Armor Slayer.
And Fortify. And two Master Seals, a Warp Staff, a couple Slim Swords. Yeah, it's a pretty good haul, I'd say.
Slim Swords, stop. That's too much.
I mean, you can sell it.
They really spoiled us, man.
You can sell it, okay? It's good. It's good. Leave me alone. It's treasure.
Alright, let's get in there, C's. Yeah, nice.
Dawn is breaking. Hey, make shake to Tara. Let's go. And
a nice little treasure map.
Yeah, that's the treasure map. Hope you enjoyed the treasure map and the Unit and Last map and the Fog of War map. And next we're going back to, what do we call it? The Assault on Tara? I mean, not quite, but like the lead up to the, I guess we could call it the Tara arc. I guess we'll go with that, the Tara arc.
There we go.
We'll be going to the Tara,
Tara arc.
Hope you look forward to the Tara arc. Bye.
That's right. Tight.